Zero hunger is the second goal of the Global Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. However, fighting hunger should go with ending malnutrition. So far, Rwanda has done much to sensitize its people about making balanced and healthy diets. Vegetables are key to making a balanced diet as they are important sources of many nutrients including potassium, dietary fiber, vitamins A and C, and all these are important to lower blood pressure, reduce risks of heart diseases and stroke, prevent some kinds of cancer, lower risks of eye and digestive problems, and many more benefits. However, Rwandan people have been struggling to sustainably find enough quality and affordable varieties of vegetables on the markets, especially in the cities. Some varieties of vegetables are sometimes rare on the markets, while others are available on a high price. Some parts of the country have suffered the scarcity of vegetables from long ago, while back to the source, farmers are heard claiming of overproduction of some varieties of vegetables, among other challenges that may have affected the whole vegetables value chain. This is the reason why Rwanda Consumers' Rights Protection Organization ADECOR, together with Kilimo Trust and agricultural support, since the year 2022 started implementing a project entitled Good Food for Cities, which aims at expanding structured production and trade of healthy, sustainable and nutritious vegetables in response to specific demand.
The cities have been changing in their behavior toward food demands, and we will see how the transformations of our products, the transformation of all the food produce can be fitting the need of the citizens and to be part of the knowledges that we want to upscale through all other regions.
The project is implemented in Rubavu district, which is believed to be the main source of vegetables consumed in Rwanda.
Mushinga IMIRIRE MYIZA IWACU, Good Food for Cities, nuko dushaka gufasha abahinzi kongera umusaruro wabo, umusaruro ukiyongera mu.
Through the project Good Food for Cities, we want to help farmers increase their productivity in terms of both quantity and quality. We also want to help them make their vegetables farming a strong business, which means that we want them to increase income and benefits they get from farming so that they can be able to satisfy themselves with all the needs of their lives. That can be achieved only if they can find quality harvest and good priced market for it. To increase productivity and find markets for the harvest, it requires good policies that enable farmers to access affordability fertilizers and pesticides, find trainings. That is why one of our project's components is to do advocacy for them to different institutions such as the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Trade and Industry, and their subsidiary entities, which are in charge of making agriculture and trade policies.
Igihugu zirimo nka za Ministeri y'Ubuhinzi, Ministeri y'Ubucuruzi n'ibindi bigo bishamikiye kuri izo ministeri bishinzwe gushyiraho politiki z'ubuhinzi ndetse n'ubucuruzi.
Implementers of this project observed some challenges faced by farmers that hinder them from making modern and professional farming as a root cause of their lower income.
The first is that farmers are harvesting without a specific market. When you cultivate without targeting specific clients, that is not a professional farming, and it makes farmers fall into losses. When you cannot plan and know, for instance, how much carrots you are going to grow based on the client's demand, you start taking to the market all that you have harvested. And that is a risk of a huge loss because you did not do any planification. Another thing is the lack of coordination between stakeholders. Each stakeholder in the sector seems to work alone. If it's a farmer, they are only limited on farming activities. If it's a sponsor, they only give funds and go. If it's the district, they implement their policies alone. But all those stakeholders don't have a structured coordination. So, this project intends to bring coordination amongst the stakeholders in the vegetable value chain so that they can bring their efforts together to get a good harvest as well as a good market for it.
Let us hear some testimonies from farmers.
The first challenge is disorganized farming, which results to overproduction, and the harvest perishes due to lack of market. The second challenge is that farmers cultivate without a target of a specific market. Another challenge is that we sometimes find fertilizers a bit late. Cultivating with a specific market target. Here, I want to mean that we normally take our harvest to those common markets. However, we wish we had investors and sign contracts with them, so that we grow vegetables with full confidence that we have a certain client who will buy our harvest. For instance, if there is a certain client who wants green beans, they come and have a contract with us that will help farmers to know how many hectares of green beans needed to satisfy that client's demand. But now, we all harvest at the same time and take our harvest to common market, where we sit and wait for buyers that we don't even know if they are coming or not.
Company nakizaze tugure ku giciro kiniki umuntu agahinga ariko yizeye n'umuntu uzamugurira ariko kugeza ubu n'uguhinga tuzi yuko nibyera tuzaremesha mu soko rusange ryarindi mweze muzana ariko mugategereza umukiriye mutazi ari buturuke
cyambere wenda kijyanye n'imirama.
The first point I can talk about is related to seeds. Sometimes you buy expensive seeds and sometimes those seeds have no quality or have expired. My second point is related to fertilizers. Sometimes you buy fertilizers on a high price, pesticides on a high price, which rises the cost of farming. But at the time of harvesting, we sell the harvest on a lower price compared to what you have harvested. The issue of markets is also difficult because there are people that I can call dealers. They're the ones who come in our farms before we start harvesting, and they start negotiating with farmers. A dealer can see a parcel of vegetables and negotiate with the owner about the price for all the harvest that will come from the whole parcel. The amount they agreed on is what the farmer receives. They don't wait to harvest and set a price per a kilogram. If you agree on 200,000 or 300,000, for all the harvest, that will come from a parcel. That is what they give you. You as a farmer can't know the real price on the market. You can't know how much harvest the dealer will get from your parcel. You can't even know for how much the dealer will sell the harvest. The way you find a solution to this issue is to put in place collection centers for vegetables, as it was done for potatoes. For potatoes, after harvesting, a farmer takes their harvest to the collection center, and buyers from different markets come and buy potatoes from the collection center. So we wish the same to vegetable, where the collection center can help us meet with buyers from, for instance, Rusizi or RDC, who can come direct to the collect center and buy our harvest on a good price.
akabiha abacuruzi wenda babijyana Kigali cyangwa ku yandi masoko atandukanye ariko umuhinzi muri rusange we nta handi ahurira n'isoko. Bo buryo bwo gukemuka nuko haboneka amakusanyirizo nkuko mu birayi bimeze, kuko mu birayi umuhinzi arakura akajana ibirayi ku ikusanyirizo, noneho umuguzi uturutse mu bice bitandukanye by'igihugu ushaka bya birayi akagenda akabifata ku ikusanyirizo. No mu mboga rero biramutse bibonetse iryo kusanyirizo rihari tukamenya ngo umuguzi uvuye Rusizi cyangwa se uvuye muri Kongo cyangwa se uvuye handi hariho hose akamenya ngo imboga nkeneye ndazikura mu karere ka Rubavu kuri rikusanyirizo yaza, noneho babandi bahagararira rya kusanyirizo bagafasha wa muhinzi bakamuhuza n'umuguzi, bico isoko rikaboneka kandi bitanga amafaranga agaragara.
Aho usanga ibiciro rimwe na rimwe bihindagurika uko bukene uko bwije.
There are frequent and unexpected changes in price. Most of the times, farmers face a problem of lower prices on the market. And this happens because during the harvest season, all farmers bring their carrots to the market at the same time. Again, we don't have any other way to add values to carrots like making other products from them. That is why when they become much on the market, the price falls. The second problem is that we don't use weighing scales while selling our harvests. We also negotiate a price per sack. And that is not because farmers don't really know the quantity they sell and what might be the right price per each kilogram. If this issue were regulated, it would bring more benefits to farmers, dealers, or any other person in the vegetable value chain.
Icyo kibazo rero gikemutse byazamura umuhinzi bikazamura umucuruzi ndetse n'umuntu wese ufite ahurira n'ubucuruzi cyangwa se ubuhinzi bw'imboga muri rusange.
Another challenge that leads to farmers' losses is the lack of vegetables storing equipment like cold rooms or drying technologies to keep the vegetables fresh while waiting for clients or good prices on the market.
When carrots harvested are not sold at the same day of harvesting, it directly leads to farmers' loss because on the next day they are deteriorated because we don't have cold rooms. That is a serious problem.
The issue is not only observed at the level of farmers but also in the whole value chain.
Vegetables traders and farmers are still using traditional means to store, expose, and transport their goods. They are still using baskets and sacks. Another serious issue is about transport means used to take the harvest from farms to markets. There is still a problem of appropriate cars because we are still using cars designed for construction materials or other materials, but not appropriate for vegetables. All those challenges are also rising losses because around 30% of the harvest on the market is rejected because of quality problem, while only 70% is sold.
Biracyazamura ikibazo cy'ibihombo kuko usanga umusaruro wacurujwe hafi 30% byo wageze ku soko byose byangiritse, ugasanga muri make bacuruje 70% byo by'ibyo bagejeje ku soko. Uburyo zitwarwa rero
vegetable transport is a challenge. One day we tried to use crates, but it couldn't give us a solution because they couldn't allow us to transport as much harvest as we wanted. It required us to use many cars, which is not also beneficial. Now we keep using sacks. Unfortunately, they sometimes arrive to the market without a problem. But if we could find appropriate cars with freezing containers, it would be better. There are some of us who have freezers where they keep them, but for us who don't have freezers, we put them down here, cover them with sacks and let some air pass through. Sometimes they don't perish.
During 2022, the first year of the project, ADECOR together with the Kilimo Trust have organized different meetings bringing together all stakeholders in the vegetables value chain to discuss issues that affect this sector. The first validation meeting was held in Kigali and brought together officials from different institutions that deal with horticulture sector, including the Ministry of Agriculture and Rwanda Agriculture Board, the Ministry of Trade and Industry, Rwanda Inspectorate, Competition and Consumer Protection Authority RICA, Rwanda Standards Board RSB, the Ministry of Health, and many more others to introduce to them about the project and discuss the general overview about the loopholes in the sector to be tackled.
The second one is about the availability of post-harvest or small-scale irrigation. I don't know if the gap is on the implementation or the gap is on the policy, because I think the National Agriculture is mentioning that the availability of small-scale irrigation post-harvest is well stated in the policy. So I don't know if you can clarify if you are meaning of the implementation, because we do have small-scale irrigation which is even subsidized by the government. It's not yet reached everyone farmer, but the policy is clear on that. Availability of small-scale irrigation, and even the sector is doing well on the post-harvest, but still, they still want to implement.
And the government should also push much effort in education of farmers on how using those different technologies. I'm talking about, for example, if we talk about vegetables, we can talk about cold rooms, how do you use them. I know there are some cold facilities in different areas. Are they used? We have to know if they are being used.
Other meetings were held in Rubavu district, bringing together farmers and their cooperatives representatives. During the meetings, ADECOR, in partnership with the Kilimo Trust, tried to build the farmers' capacity to evaluate themselves change their mindsets, understand the issues that affect them to be able to advocate for themselves. The meetings that took place in Rubavu were also attended by local authorities from the district and all sectors to discuss on a roundtable those issues that are affecting the vegetables value chain in order to build a structured and coordinated partnership to sort out those problems.
Mu bijyanye no kongera umusaruro biracyakenewe ko abahinzi bongererwa ubumenyi bagakoresha imihingire myiza, bagakoresha inyongera musaruro kandi ku gipimo kigereranyo gikwiye kugira ngo ibyo bajyana ku isoko bibe byujuje ubuziranenge.
On the matter of increasing productivity, farmers need first to increase their knowledge about modern farming, which uses limited and well-measured fertilizers, so as to avoid hazards in the harvest they sell. So, it's important to build farmers' capacity in modern farming techniques. On the matter of harvesting and post-harvest, here, farmers need to be supported to find appropriate houses, to always keep the harvest fresh because farmers have been suffering losses resulted from depreciated and rejected harvest because of quality issues.
Kubera ko mu by'ukuri abahinzi bagira igihombo giturutse ku bintu byinshi ku musaruro ugatakara kubera ko wangiritse cyangwa ugatakara kubera ko ku isoko udakunzwe kubera ko utafashwe neza.
Nk'uko byakomeje kujya bigaragara ko hari imbogamizi mu guhinga.
As we have been encountering the issues of overproduction and lack of markets for our vegetables, we have now come up with some measures. The first measure we have taken is to re-establish our farming plan. We have realized that in this region of Rubavu and Nyabihu, we also have a wet weather. So we have advised our farmers to never cultivate vegetables in all of their land at the same time in order to avoid overproduction. And then we are teaching our farmers to grow vegetables, targeting a specific market. We're sensitizing them through their respective cooperatives, where we show them how they should share information amongst their cooperatives about varieties that each cooperative is growing, to avoid growing the same varieties of vegetables in all cooperatives, which is a root cause of overproduction. We want to keep teaching them, and that is why we are very thankful for ADECOR and Kilimo Trust that came in our district to work closely with our cooperative and teach us the best practices to increase our productivity, value addition of our harvest, and dealing with markets.
Ariko nyine kwigisha n'uguhozaho. Ari nayo mpamvu twishimiye ADECOR kwije iwacu kwigisha ku micungire y'amakoperative na Kilimo ikabije kutwigisha mu kongera umusaruro no gutunganya no gushaka amasoko.
ADECOR, in partnership with the Kilimo Trust, have also engaged the central government institutions that work on agriculture and trade to discuss vegetables value chain issues on a policy-making level. In another meeting held in Kigali, brought together officials from the Ministry of Agriculture, Rwanda Agriculture Board, the Ministry of Trade and Industry, Rwanda Standards Board, National Agricultural Export Board, among others. Different officials in the meeting have shown their commitment to address different challenges that fall into their duties.